Kwame didn't sleep that night. He sat on his couch, surrounded by broken glass and shattered ceramics, replaying every second of the encounter in his mind. The smart thing, the only sane thing, would be to pack a bag and run. Book a flight to Lagos, or London, or anywhere that wasn't Seoul. Park Sung-min clearly had the money and the connections to hire professional killers. There was no winning this fight, but Kwame couldn't stop thinking about her eyes, about the way her voice had cracked when she'd said she didn't know why she was sparing him, about the name she'd given him, Ji-woo, like a gift he hadn't earned. As dawn broke over the Seoul skyline, Kwame made a decision that he knew was probably suicidal. He wasn't leaving. Instead, he was going to find out everything he could about the woman who should have killed him. It took him 2 days of digging through every database he had access to, calling in favors from contacts in Seoul's tech underground, and spending hours in internet cafes under fake names. What he discovered chilled him to the bone. Kim Ji-woo, 26 years old, no official employment record for the past 6 years. Before that, she'd been a promising student at Korea National Sport University, specializing in Taekwondo and modern pentathlon. Then her record simply stopped. But in the darker corners of the internet, where people spoke in code and half-truths, her name appeared in whispers. The ghost of Gangnam, the Silent Lily, a contract killer who'd never failed an assignment, who commanded fees that most people couldn't even comprehend, who was known for being absolutely merciless, except she'd let him live. On the morning of the third day, his 72-hour deadline, Kwame did something he knew was insane. He went to the address he'd traced through a series of shell corporations and encrypted transactions, an upscale apartment building in Gangnam, nestled between a luxury boutique and a high-end coffee shop. He waited outside for 3 hours before he saw her. She emerged from the building wearing civilian clothes, a simple cream sweater and jeans that made her look like any other young professional in the neighborhood. Her hair was down, falling in dark waves past her shoulders. She wore sunglasses despite the overcast sky. She froze the moment she saw him. Kwame watched as her hand instinctively moved toward her purse, where he had no doubt she kept a weapon. But he raised his hands slowly, showing he was unarmed. "I just want to talk," he called out. Ji-woo's jaw clenched. She strode toward him with barely contained fury, grabbing his arm and pulling him into the alley beside the building. She pressed him against the wall, her face inches from his. "Are you insane?" she hissed. "I gave you an out, a chance to live, and you throw it away by stalking me?" "I couldn't leave," Kwame said simply. "Why not?" "Because I need to understand why you let me live." Ji-woo's grip on his arm tightened. "Does it matter? You should be halfway across the world by now. Park Sung-min will send someone else, someone who won't hesitate." "Let them come," Kwame said, surprised by his own conviction. "I'm not running from my life because some corrupt investor wants me dead. I've worked too hard to build something here." "You're a fool," Ji-woo said, but her voice lacked the venom her words implied. "Maybe," Kwame agreed, "but I'm a fool who wants to buy you coffee. Just coffee, 30 minutes of your time. If you still want to kill me after that, at least I'll die having had one good conversation." Ji-woo stared at him like he'd sprouted a second head. "You want to have coffee with the woman who tried to murder you?" "I want to have coffee with the woman who didn't murder me," Kwame corrected. "There's a difference." For a long moment, Ji-woo said nothing. Kwame could see the calculation in her eyes, the weighing of options. Finally, she released his arm. "One coffee," she said. 30 minutes. Then you get on a plane. And you never come back to Seoul. Deal." "Deal," Kwame lied. They went to a small cafe 3 blocks away, tucked into a quiet side street. Ji-woo chose a table in the back corner, positioned so she could see both exits. Professional habits, Kwame thought. He ordered an Americano. She ordered green tea. "So," Ji-woo said, wrapping her hands around her cup, "what do you want to know that's worth dying for?" "Everything," Kwame said. "Start with why you became an assassin." Ji-woo's laugh was bitter. "That's not a first date kind of story." "Is this a date?" Kwame asked with a small smile. "Don't," Ji-woo warned. "Don't try to charm me. You have no idea who I am, what I've done." "Then tell me." Ji-woo studied him for a long moment. Then, to his surprise, she began to speak. "My father was a prosecutor, a good man who believed in justice, in law, in doing the right thing no matter the cost. When I was 19, he was prosecuting a case against one of Seoul's biggest organized crime families. He had evidence that would have put their leader away for life." She paused, her fingers tightening around her teacup. "They killed him, made it look like a car accident. My mother knew the truth, but she was too afraid to speak up. She died 6 months later. They said it was a heart attack, but I know it was a broken heart. I had nothing, no family, no money, just rage and a very particular set of skills from my athletic training." "So you became what you hated," Kwame said softly. Ji-woo's eyes flashed. I became what was necessary. The man who ordered my father's death? I killed him myself. It was my first contract, and I did it for free. After that, word spread. People started hiring me, and I realized I was good at it. Too good. But you're not just a killer, Kwame said. You let me live. A mistake I'm still trying to understand, Ji-woo admitted. She met his eyes. Why did you say that? That I was beautiful? Kwame thought about lying, about deflecting. But something in her gaze demanded honesty. Because it was true. And because I was about to die, and I didn't want my last words to be begging or cursing. I wanted them to be something real. Ji-woo looked away. You don't know me. You don't know the things I've done, the people I've killed. I know you're a person who's been hurt, who's survived, who made choices in impossible situations, Kwame said. I know you could have pulled that trigger, but you didn't. That tells me something about who you really are. And who am I? Ji-woo asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Someone who still has a conscience, Kwame said. Someone who's not completely lost. Tears welled in Ji-woo's eyes. She blinked them away angrily. You need to leave Seoul, she said. Tonight, Park Sung-min will send someone else. Someone like Lee Tae-hyun. He's a monster who enjoys the work. He won't hesitate. He won't miss. Come with me, Kwame said. Ji-woo's head snapped up. What? Come with me. Leave this life. We could go anywhere. Nigeria, Europe, America. Somewhere Park can't reach us. Somewhere you can be free. Free? Ji-woo laughed, but it was a broken sound. I'll never be free. Do you know how many people I've killed, Kwame? 12. 12 people are dead because I was paid to end their lives. That doesn't just wash away. No, Kwame agreed. But staying here, continuing to kill, that won't wash it away either. At some point, you have to decide who you want to be, not who your past made you, but who you choose to become. Ji-woo stood abruptly. Our 30 minutes are up. Kwame stood too. Ji-woo, don't, she said, backing toward the exit. Don't make this harder than it already is. Just leave Seoul, please, before it's too late. She turned and walked out of the cafe, leaving Kwame staring after her. He didn't leave Seoul. Subscribe, because love was about to cost us everything.